And we're almost live. Today's episode is sponsored by Holy Milk. I've got a test package here. Delicious vegan milk that has no seed or vegetable oil, refined sugar, natural flavors, or non-organic stabilizers. This stuff is delicious. Check out the Holy Milk Instagram to find out where you can purchase Holy Milk in New York City. Now on to the episode.
So you telling me you saw Ted Jones and
See how you're sounding? But everything should be good. You're used to the sound equipment, right?
Yes,
the
sir.
guy's a rapper. He knows. You can pull it in a little bit, maybe make yourself comfortable, but we're all good.
Yellow.
All right? 2 a.m. in the morning. What's up, dude? Freaking
up, man?
New Jersey rapper. What's up, man? How are you? Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. So you and I met in Washington Square Park a few weeks ago. You were showing me some of your tunes. So how long have you been rapping and like making music, dude?
I've been making music for about 17 years.
17 years? So straight out the womb? No, you're not that young, right?
No, I'm 27. So
Okay.
I was about like 9, 10, maybe 11.
Do you start with freestyling a bunch?
I honestly started with producing beats first.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. How'd you do that initially? GarageBand?
FL Studio. Fruity Loops, it used to be called. But
Fruity Loops. Was that like an application on a computer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. And then what, you would just like press the space bar, make noises and things like
and
that?
I woke up 10 years later and I'm an artist. You know?
What was your inspiration initially to start making beats?
So I didn't get into music until around that age. I started listening to Tupac and Biggie, and you know, so I grew up in a Christian household, and my mom tried to like steer me away from the outside music.
You go to church every Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday and Thursday, twice a week. Jesus Christ.
Did you go to I guess like Sunday school, or you'd go to classes on Thursday, or you'd just be in church?
It was just church both times. Yeah.
Nice, man. Pretty religious.
Yeah. Well, I grew up religious. I'm not much of a religious man anymore. But I mean, I still believe in God and stuff like that.
Right. West New York, though, we were talking about it. So you're from Union City?
I'm from Union City,
For those of you who don't know where Union City is, it is pretty close to the, I guess, exit of the Lincoln Tunnel on the Jersey side, right?
Yeah, right
It's like
there.
pretty much right there. Do you ever play on that football field?
Oh,
right
that's
there outside?
that's the Weehawken.
The Weehawken, right.
Yeah.
You ever play there?
When I was younger, yeah.
It's got like a baseball field and a football field,
Yeah.
like it combined together. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
West New York, though, Mesa, right? Is that the rapper from West New York who people's like, oh, I never heard people talking about you, the king of West New York?
Oh, so
You ever hear him?
I'm familiar with him. He has like a song with Rick Ross and a couple.
Yeah,
couple
he's got a
people up
couple
there.
bangers.
Yeah, he used to record at a studio I used to work at. So
Oh, okay. So when did you get that studio recording job? Was that kind of when things started to
it was,
avalanche for you?
So it was before the pandemic.
That
So
water is all you, by the way.
thank you.
Strictly
So
H2O.
before the pandemic in 2019. Okay, so long story short.
No, dude, come on. Make it the
I'm gonna
long
tell you.
story
All
long.
right,
We're
I
on the
will. All right,
pod,
so
dude.
I used to be a high school teacher. Yes, I used to.
And you're divorced, too.
Well, I mean, I had an ex-fiance. We didn't get married. We didn't officially
Okay.
like. She broke up with me.
All right, but you've lived a couple lives then for a 27-year-old. Go ahead.
Oh man. I was also a foster child. We'll get into that too. I was making music. I have pictures of me making music in my foster home and stuff like that. But so before the pandemic, this is what
Keep
happened.
talking. I want to make sure this is straight. Go ahead, bro.
Hell yeah! Before the pandemic, I was a high school music teacher. I taught vocals. I did a bit of the instruments and stuff like that. But then, like, you know, unfortunately, my grandmother had passed away in 2019, and I decided to take a leave of absence from teaching. By the time I was ready to become a teacher again, the pandemic happened, and they were not hiring. That was pretty much it. Like, they're not trying to look for new work. Like,
Was this in Jersey, brother?
this was in Jersey, yeah. And they weren't looking for teachers because I'm not an English, math, or science. They weren't really looking for, like, I guess, what is it called? The word
Temps?
a secondary
Well, substitute or like
not subs elective teachers. They weren't looking for any elective teachers, and I happened to be an elective teacher, so they didn't want to put me in. So.
Elective meaning the subject in school, like when
It's like
kids
not
would choose electives.
Yeah, you get to
right,
choose.
right.
You get to choose that. So they weren't looking for that, and I had a couple of friends. We had our own music studio. We're like, yo, let's just start taking clients, start recording local rappers, and try to make money. And ever since then, like, I've been just making music full time.
Growing up in foster care.
Yeah.
Until what age were you in foster care?
So from 12 to 17. 12 to 17.
12, bro?
Yeah, I was 12 years old, yeah.
So what happened at 12 that you moved into foster care?
I mean, I talk about it in my music a lot, but my mom's an alcoholic. And it's because my father passed away at 5. I have a really interesting life, guys. I'm sorry. But I was 12. We got sent to a foster home in Jersey City. And it was like in a dangerous area of Jersey City.
Apart.
Near like Lafayette and Martin Luther King Drive. And so like it was a very, very dangerous area. So I wasn't allowed to stay out late. I had to basically go to school. And mind you, I still went to school in Union City. I had to take 2 buses at 5 in the morning just to get to my regular school. I didn't want to transfer schools because my best friends were there and stuff like that. So I had to take 2 buses at 5 in the morning just to get to school on time.
This is from the ages of 12 to 17?
From 12 to 17, yeah.
What was your relationship like with your siblings and your mother before age 12?
I had a very good relationship with my siblings and my mom. I was fortunate enough to be placed with one of my brothers when I was from 12 to 13. No, 12 to 15 actually, because at 15 he turned 18. He's 3 years older than me, so I was pretty much on my own for 2 years.
Were you the youngest? Or
I'm the middle child.
Siblings?
I'm the middle child. So my 2 younger sisters, my 2 younger siblings rather, my little brother and my little sister were fortunate enough to be together, and then my 2 other baby sisters were allowed to stay with their father because, you know, he's not an alcoholic. He worked and he had space and stuff, so it was just hectic.
What was your life like after you turned 17 years old?
Oh man,
like from 17 to 27, you know, starting music.
To be honest, like I'm about to trauma dump. Let's see.
Bro, by the way, this is the pod, so this is what it's for.
Yeah, so basically, fortunately, I enjoyed my senior year. That's when I when I was 17, I became a senior. I was able to enjoy my senior year, did the prom, homecoming, all that. But then college happened.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to NJCU.
Okay. I was gonna say NJIT once you said that.
My brother went to NJIT. He's a mechanical engineer. But I went to school for secondary education. I graduated within 3 years, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, and I didn't take no summers off, no winters off, just straight school. But from 17 to 27, I just been trying to figure this life shit out, man. Like I've always been passionate about music, and I know music's gonna be the thing that I'm doing for the rest of my life, fame or no fame. Like I'm going all in with this. Like, and I've had a major year this year. Like I've made my first $1,000 off of BMI for music on Hulu, Disney, and stuff like that. Like I'm trying to do sync licensing. It's good.
What's the song that you showed me that was a banger?
2 a.m. See, I pay my dues and I make my moves. Going through the motions, think it's deja vu. Hella bad shorties wanna claim I'm boo, but I ain't tied down, don't wanna say I do.
The man.
So you're, is this like one of your favorite songs right now?
Oh man, to be honest, my favorite song is not even released yet.
Oh shit, when are you putting it out?
I tell my video guy this all the time. I'm like, yo, I can't put this out until I have like a fan base. Like really? Like a solid. Like this is like, because the song is about my religious beliefs. I'm down to show you the song, but
yeah,
it's about my religious beliefs.
Let's hear it, and then put the speaker to the microphone, and we'll listen to it a little bit. All right, dope, dude. 2 a.m. in the morning too. I love that artist name.
Yes.
It's like you'd be featured on a song with Drake. And that's about your religion?
So basically, I've had like an on and off thing with God, essentially. Like I said in the verse, like sometimes you don't reply. Like you pray to God and you always want the answers right away, but like sometimes it doesn't always work like that.
What you mean when you say on and off relationship? What does the off relationship look like? What does the on relationship look like?
I'm not a perfect person. Like I am a sinner. Like I do things that the Bible forbids and stuff like that. But I guess that would be like the off. Like I said, I grew up very religious. I know what you're not supposed to do as a Christian and stuff. But unfortunately, like I stumble, I sin, and I make mistakes. Like I guess every human does. Nobody's perfect.
But is it okay to be a rapper when you say you're being a bad Christian? Like, what are
so in my religion?
Yeah.
In my religion, I guess I should say I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I used to knock on doors, and and so
So you believe Christ is coming back, or that's what Jehovah's Witnesses believe, right?
Yeah, that's the belief. That's what the belief is. Yeah. They're kind of against rap music. Even though my music, like I try not to curse in my music. I'll throw like maybe one or two around, but like I try to keep it clean. But they don't like hip hop music, rap. They think it's very derogatory.
But how did you stick with being a Jehovah's Witness when you were in a foster home, or was that from when you were born to 12 years old? What did that look like?
So I've practiced until college, like 19, 20, like pretty much. So I left the religion once I started growing facial hair. They don't allow facial hair.
You're like, all right, dude, whatever. I'm not shaving.
I'm not shaving. I pretty much like I told them that I didn't want to shave, and I didn't get kicked out, but like I lost a lot of privileges, and like that kind of happens.
What were some of the good things about being a Jehovah's Witness? Things that you enjoyed?
Very, very, very friendly people there. Very loving, very friendly, non-judgmental to a certain extent. Until I, obviously started growing facial hair and stumbling, and like then. But I understand why they do that. They do it because they care and stuff. But
is it like a family type of community where you go to the church 2 times a week? Everyone's eating together. People loan each other money. What's the relationship like?
Sort of like so. Thursdays and Sundays would be the days where we, go to church, but like on Wednesdays or Fridays or whatever, we'd have like gatherings and we'd eat together, like the whole congregation, like we'd eat, we'd cook, we'd read the Bible, we'd pray, like like.
How many hours a week was dedicated to being a Jehovah's Witness, including the knocking on the door? Was it like a 9 to 5 job?
Not necessarily.
And then do you get paid for it? What does it look like?
Oh, we don't get paid. We don't get paid. The paid system is knowing that you're doing God's will and stuff like that.
All right, fair, yeah.
But it didn't feel like a job when I was there. It's just like it's your belief. You think that you're supposed to do it. You're trying to help people, and it's like a good deed kind of thing.
Did you convert anyone to Jehovah's Witness?
No, unfortunately
what?
not.
After all that knocking?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna be real. Like my heart wasn't in it. Unfortunately, I was shy. And,
okay, but some of your friends who were really in it.
Yeah. I'd go with like the older ones. I'd go door to door with the older ones. I let the older ones do all the work, and I'm just learning.
You're just doing the knocking.
I'm just observing, and
What were some of the things that the older people would tell you about being a Jehovah's Witness? They'd be like, "Yo, it's sick."
That is fulfilling, and they never told me anything bad about the religion. That is fulfilling and things of that nature.
And you believed it? That they were just saying that you were gonna be this way your whole life, or when were you planning? I don't want to say planning your escape, but when did you know that you didn't want to do it anymore? Or maybe you were planning your escape. I
love my mom, but the thing is, she doesn't practice what she preaches. So. She's an alcoholic, and she used to smoke. So
smoke
like cigarettes.
Okay,
and that's bad. You're not supposed to do any of that stuff. The Bible forbids that.
But in the way she drank, though, was that in front of you, or was it quiet? Was it like you weren't supposed to know?
She would sneak it around, and like she'd come back, and we know how our mom is sober, like. She's not slurring her words and being aggressive and cursing and this, that, and third. And, it's crazy.
Your relationship with your siblings, though, from when you got out of foster care, and you were living with both of them from 12 to 17?
I was living with just one of them. My older brother who went to NJIT. It was funny because he was the one that kind of got me into music. When I was 10 years old, he downloaded the program on the computer, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let me just press buttons. And Instead of playing video games, I was on a computer trying to make beats.
You still have a lot of friends from who are Jehovah's Witnesses, or more friends from foster care? What does that look like?
I have more friends from like elementary school. I didn't really make any friends in foster care. But the people from my church, I have like a couple of friends there. They're still in the church. They check on me every now and then.
What's something that a Jehovah's Witness does that people who don't follow the religion wouldn't know?
Jehovah's Witnesses are very compassionate people. I'll tell you that. They're very compassionate. Like
Maybe something that's weird though. Like something that's odd about the religion, besides the fact that you guys knock on people's doors trying to convert them, and sometimes stand on the West Side Highway with like forms.
I've always found the flyers a bit weird, a bit too much. Giving out flyers and stuff like a business and cards and stuff. Like I feel like you should just tell people the address or the or direct them to the website that they have, and that's pretty much it.
But is there something in the religion that other people might not know about, besides the fact that they're very compassionate, they're nice people? What's the message that they're really trying to push, besides the fact that Jesus is coming back? Like, is there specific, like, why the need to hand out flyers and to knock on people's doors, you know?
So a lot of people are probably unaware that God's real name is Jehovah, and they try to emphasize that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his real name is Jehovah, but I think in Hebrew it's Yahweh or something like that, but when you translate it to the English language, it's Jehovah. They try to emphasize that, so it's very nice. Instead of saying God, 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 you could say his name, Jehovah. Why do you think Jay-Z calls himself Hove?
He's a Jehovah's Witness?
Well, he grew up Jehovah's Witness. His mom was a Jehovah's Witness. Gloria Carter was a Jehovah's Witness.
All right, so let's talk about your music career within the last few years, and you feel like the rubber's starting to hit the ground. What is it? What's the phrase? The rubber's starting to hit the paint? Something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. But now things are starting to speed up for you.
Yeah.
What do you credit that towards?
I think I'm very stubborn. I'm a very stubborn person. I'm not gonna like learn new hobbies or read books and that. I'm just doing music and trying to pump it out. Like,
and that's what you love doing.
I love doing it. Yeah.
You meet any big artists in the game yet that have given you some words of wisdom or advice?
Oh man, yeah. And this was when he was very, very big. Fetty Wap.
Lil Pump.
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap. Oh, were you guys from like the same area in Jersey?
Somewhat. So I'll tell you, I have a photo. I'll probably send it to you after it. But
you mentioned it. You gotta send it to us.
So
all right, pop it up right here.
When I was working at Taco Bell in college, I ran into him. And mind you, I'm in my Taco Bell uniform with the broom.
Wait, it was in Taco Bell? He came in?
He came in with a whole bunch of people.
How much did he spend, by the way, before we get to the story?
$600, $700.
$600 at Taco Bell?
It was a lot of people. It's funny because they were on their way to the gentleman's club, you know?
Yes.
And I got invited to, like, yo, just quit your job. I'll give you a couple racks. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I was of age at the time. I was like 21. Yeah, I was 21 or 20. And
did you do it?
Nah.
It wasn't enough.
The thing is,
if he gave you 10,000, you probably would have done it.
Probably, but no. The thing is, I've never been big on like strip clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you also would have had to go to the strip club.
Yeah,
too.
see, growing up religious does that. But I don't know. I even when my friends try to take me on my birthday, like I don't really like the strip clubs.
Dude, I've only been to a strip club once, and that was when I was in college. I was a senior, and all the frat guys were going. I went. I didn't even get a lap dance. I was like weirded out by it, bro. I felt bad for the girls, especially since there were so many weird dudes that I knew that were like, yeah, let's get some lap dances. Yeah, dude, the chitties. I'm like, bro, this is weird.
Normally, people like to say, try it more than one time. I've been to one in Atlantic City, one in Secaucus, one in Miami. I've been to places. I've even had my best friends bring in for his birthday, like one to the crib.
Oh yeah, that happened one time.
And I still like I don't find it fulfilling.
Well, yeah, it's whatever, normal. Anyway, back to the Fetty Wap.
So I posted on Instagram that, we all got, the uniform. I was like, yo, the uniform's temporary, like new music on the way, blah, blah, blah. You know, Fetty Wap comments, we all got to start somewhere, bro. 100 emoji. He posts it on his story. He likes and comments it. And my my freaking thing just started bubbling. My notifications are popping up. People are following me, commenting, liking. Like, shit was crazy.
What did he tell you?
Oh, that we all gotta start somewhere. Like, that's what he put in the comments with the 100 emoji.
And he knew that you were rapping
make
at
music
that particular time?
Yeah, because I was in the caption. I said the caption was like the uniform is temporary, and new music coming soon. So
what was it like working at Taco Bell?
It was okay. Like, you know, it was regular fast food job.
What were some of the other jobs that you had done before you started to get involved in music?
Like I said, I was a high school teacher.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, we got to dig into that.
And that was it. Those were the only 2 jobs that I really worked. And
How old were you when you were a high school teacher?
I turned 21 that year I graduated. So I was 21 turning 22.
Didn't you feel like you were a little young to teach high school kids?
I looked young too. Like, a lot of the security guards like, oh, where's your uniform? Oh, where's your ID? No. I'm like, I'm a teacher.
But seriously, like 21 years old teaching 17-year-olds, I feel like that's not a responsible thing for schools to do in terms of hiring people, you know?
My first year I did middle school.
Okay.
Middle school, and then the year after I taught in the school. So this high school where all the bad kids go. Yeah, but I will say they treated me with respect because they wanted to be in my class. I was cool.
You were cool.
I was cool. I was relatable to them. You know, like I was young, so I wasn't a has-been or an old guy trying to force people to do their work. I'm like, yo, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. I'm not going to force you to be in my class, but I am trying to teach y'all music. You feel me? I'm passionate about music. And
you were teaching music in middle school and high school, both of them?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit different, teaching music than teaching a history, teaching a math or something like that. But you did feel like the kids respected you for the most part?
Yeah.
What was the craziest thing you saw at that bad kid school? The kids bring gats, sticks to school? I'm
weapons. Yeah, a kid brought a knife and he stabbed another student.
How big is the knife?
He stabbed. I don't know. Like all I know is like the information. So he stabbed the student and the parent that was there.
Why was there a parent at the school? Did they like have a disagreement and the parents had to come in?
The parent confronted the student with with their child.
Yeah. And
they got into a fight and just don't.
He stabbed 2 people right there.
It's really.
Did he? No.
They went to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
There weren't metal detectors at the school?
No, not at the school. But I think that the year after they had put them.
Did you know the kid who stabbed him?
No, I didn't know any of the students, unfortunately.
Do you teach any kids who went on to do big things athletically, maybe musically? College basketball, college football?
No, because I didn't really keep up with my students. Like once they graduated, you know, like I didn't really attach myself to my students.
Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine it's tough because you only know them for 300 days or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What were some of the backgrounds of those kids who went to your school? Had they gone to juvie? Were their parents locked up?
Oh my God! So a lot of them were there just for weed.
What did they do? Like at their old high school, they were smoking
weed? They were just smoking mad weed, and you're addicted to drugs, and we're gonna send you to this school. Like,
what was the school called?
The Annex. The Union City Annex. And crazy enough, the school closed down. I used to live a block away from the Annex.
Kids were smoking weed. What were some of the other bad things though? Like some of the kids probably had gone to juvie, right?
Some of them were in gangs.
Why do you put that in
pregnancies?
Why do you put that in quotations?
Because it's like there's really no gangs in my city. Like it's fake ones. Like they think they're in a gang, but it's not really. Like I know actual gang members. Like that. Those kids aren't in a gang. They're just buddies trying to be tough.
These days, gang members though, it's got to be tough to stay away from the law with all the updates and electronic monitoring that these cops have. It's got to be tough to stay under. You're smirking. What do you think?
Because I got lucky. I live right next to the police station.
Is that lucky or not lucky?
No, it's lucky. I don't want to be
safe.
Yeah, I want to stay safe. I am not
that music.
Yeah, I mean, I don't claim to be a street man. You feel me? So So I grew up in a somewhat decent, nice family, I guess.
You had foster mom,
A foster
and dad.
mom, yeah. They were Haitian.
You still stay in contact with them?
Actually, no, I don't.
Why not?
They were very, very old. So like, it wouldn't surprise me if they passed away. Like
So you knew them for about 5 years though each,
5 years, yeah.
and you just haven't had the time to go back and like say what up. But it was a home, and they had a bunch of kids there. How did the dynamic look?
It was a 3-bedroom apartment. So 2 bunk beds each room.
And you and your brother were in that bunk bed?
That one room, and then the other room was for like the foster girls or whatever.
What were the rules like in the house?
Like no smoking, no drinking, but
Standard. But
our foster parents loved us though, because we weren't troublemakers. We did our homework. My last year at foster care, I had a roommate, and he was very bad. Like he got arrested while I was in the room. The
cops came in while you were there?
The cops raided our room. He tried to he hid his weed in my drawer.
Bro.
Yeah, he hid his weed. I think he had like heroin and
oh my gosh,
and all that other shit.
So why did the cops raid it? Because they had info that he probably had heroin?
the foster mother like outed him out. She knew like what was going on. She called the cops. They raided the room, and they found it in my drawer. But she was like, "Oh, that's not his. Definitely, that's not him. I've had him for 5 years. Like, it's not him. It's like it's the other guys." I'm like, they had to talk. They sat to me like, "Is that yours?" I'm like, "Yo, no, it's not. I'm a good kid. Like I'm just trying to graduate."
How much time did that guy end up doing?
To be honest, like they locked him away, and I never heard from him again.
How much time do you think, or in a situation like that, if you know of anybody?
He definitely got tried as an adult because he was 17. So
you think he probably got like 10 years? I guess it depended on how much heroin, if he was going to sell it, weed.
If I can recall, like I think from what I heard, it was like 7 to 8 years of. I think he couldn't even do juvenile. He was getting tried as an adult, so probably 7 years. And like maybe like a detention center or like a jail or something. It's really bad.
Did you see people in your neighborhood acting up like that in high school, middle school, or did you hang around a good bunch always?
So I never really hung out in that area. I tried not to. I only, I laid my head there, and then once it was time to go to school, I went to school, and then once it was time to go home, I went home. Like I just stood indoors. I didn't really pay attention to the neighborhood. Even when I had to do laundry, like I brought my laundry back to my mom's because we lived in an apartment complex that had like a laundry.
You were still allowed to see your mom at that particular time?
Supervised, but my other 2 siblings were adults, so as long as they were in the house, like it was fine. They didn't really care.
What's your relationship like now? Your mom and your family?
I love my family. I still love my family. And my mom's still like, on and off with her alcoholism, and she's getting older. So like I've tried my best to help her, but you have to want it for yourself, and unfortunately, like she probably doesn't want it. It's gonna take her like a real life or death situation for her to finally quit and stuff. But
do you not drink alcohol because of that? Or do
I with meals I'll eat and I'll have like a Corona, but nah, I don't drink to get drunk or any of that.
Was your dad in the picture? Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't until I was 5. Yeah, when he passed away.
And that was something health related, or?
Well, so this is why I don't drive. So he got into a car accident in Cuba. He was hit by a drunk driver, and his body was buried in Cuba. So like I haven't visited the grave, no funeral, no nothing.
You weren't down there in Cuba when he was there? Why was he there?
No, he was visiting my grandmother at the time. Yeah.
And that's where she still is.
She still is there. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think she passed away years ago. Like I had no contact with that side of the family, unfortunately. Yeah. He's trying to process all of this.
Yeah, man. Well, how are you doing mentally otherwise?
My friends say I like to suppress my emotions a lot, and they're probably right. So I probably am suppressing it.
Well, I think you are a pretty happy, energetic guy. And dude, remember when we first met, you probably thought I was fucking nuts, huh?
Yeah.
I've got a soft side too,
Yeah.
Now you see both of it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. I want to get into your relationship with your ex.
Oh man.
How did that happen? And was that because of Jehovah's Witness?
No. So I started dating her in college, and would you consider like Pennsylvania like a long distance relationship?
I mean, maybe, bro, because like New Jersey and Pennsylvania are kind of big. Where in Pennsylvania?
She was by the Poconos.
So that from, I guess, here is like 2 hours. So probably from Union City, probably
It's
2
like
hours.
it was
right?
like an hour and 30, an hour
30. Yeah.
But you know, like there's a bus in New York that takes you there and back. Like
Right.
So
Like
I didn't.
$20.
It's weird. I didn't really consider it a long distance relationship because I saw this individual regularly, or we'd FaceTime.
And
or
how'd you
whatever.
meet?
Through Instagram.
You slid in her DMs?
Yeah,
Bro, that's crazy. What field was she in that you could just slide in her DMs?
She
Like, what did she do?
Well, at the time she was still in college. She was studying to be a social worker.
And you just saw her on like one of your friends like, doing some stalking, or
No, I followed her randomly, and I'm like she's cute. Let me see what's up.
You're like, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Let's get it popping. Anyway, go ahead.
So I slid in her DMs. I complimented her. I'm like, hey, you're very pretty, and She's like, oh, you're handsome. I'm like, hey, you wanna hang out sometimes? Oh, I live in a Pocono. I was like, no problem. I'm gonna just Uber there. $144 Uber. I feel bad for the Uber driver. I'm so sorry.
I mean, he got the bag though. So.
He had to buy gas, and I think they don't think they give you money for gas.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. I think you have to make like logical decisions, and so you probably shouldn't be driving people to the Poconos.
Yeah,
or unless you get like that 2x rate, and he charges you 180 or something.
And I lied. I'm like, oh, I have a sick family member that I gotta go see. Meanwhile, I have flowers, and
that makes sense though. Yeah, I would have believed you if I was the Uber driver.
Yeah,
kids got flowers, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not telling them, like, yo, I'm trying to get some ass in the Poconos, like, you know, like,
yeah. Trying to get some tail in the pokes.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell him that.
Go ahead.
But yeah, we dated for a long time. Obviously, I proposed and
you'd go down there like every weekend since you were in college.
Like we were a bit inconsistent. Like sometimes, like we FaceTimed a lot more than we saw each other. I'll say that.
How old were you at that time?
I was 19, 20.
Bro.
Yeah.
And she was that age too?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, we were both.
How did her parents feel about the engagement at that particular time?
So this is why she broke up with me. Apparently, her mom didn't approve of our relationship. But why? Like I tried to meet her mom. I've never met the mom. Like I tried to meet the mom. She would just give me some bullshit excuse like, oh no, I blah blah, no, we can't, blah, you know, whatever. I wasn't suspicious or anything, but eventually she wound up leaving me, saying, oh, my mom doesn't approve of us, and whatever. So she left. But 2 months later, she started dating this new guy she met at her gym over there. You put one and one together. Like she obviously knew this guy while we were together. Like it's if she ever watches this video, I'm not stupid. Like. I know what it is.
How'd you handle that?
I made music.
And you weren't a Jehovah's Witness at that particular time?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was already like facial hair, and you know, it was just. I still went to church, but I was just steering away from the church and stuff.
How did church save you at that time, or how did church help you at that time?
I realized that. In the Bible, it says, I'm paraphrasing it, but it says not to worry, that God is a provider, and this, that, and the third. And a woman of God wouldn't have handled the situation the way she did. You know, she would have communicated. She would have been upfront as to why she wanted to leave. Like, I kid you not, bro. Like, I did everything right for this girl. I called her beautiful every day. Like, even when we argued, like I apologized, I took accountability, I didn't cheat, I everything. I did everything for this girl. And because of that, it kind of affects like the other relationships that I've had in after that. Like I'm very nonchalant, non-loving. Like I'm just like it's bad.
How long were you guys together?
Oh, man, it was so long ago. We were together for like a cool little minute. Like I don't even know. Like we were there. I know it was like a few years, but like
do you think being a Jehovah's Witness had any part in why you guys broke up or why you initially got together?
No, like my religion never like got in the way of our stuff, because she was like a Christian, so like if you date a Christian, you could try to convert them to being a witness and but nah, my religion had nothing to do with like our relationship.
All right, to get to your religion more though, growing up, what did an average day look like as a Jehovah's Witness, as a, you know, from the ages of 5 to 12, I guess, when you were still with your mom and your dad at some point?
During breakfast time, we'd read like a scripture or two, or like a
How
very
long does
motivational.
that take?
Probably about 10 minutes. We'd pray for every meal and every dinner and lunch and stuff like that. We wouldn't salute the flag. We wouldn't celebrate Christmas. We wouldn't do Halloween, holidays, none of that. No
Do you
birthdays.
get presents though?
No, nothing. None of that. Ooh.
Because being alive is a present.
Yeah.
That's probably what you're gonna say, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Damn, bro. I don't know what the shit that is. I think that's the air vent or something.
No worries.
It's just, yeah, they're starting to, that heat's finally coming on, man. Even though it's been nice, you know what I mean? It's been nice weather in the city. Nah, dude. We got the radiators here. And if you ask me how the radiator works, I have no freaking idea, man. No idea, dude. But bro, let's continue the path. Let's talk about 2 a.m. in the morning, how you got the name, and what you have planned for in the future, bro. When are we tearing down MSG together, dog?
All right, so, man, I'm gonna expose myself here, but I used to go by the artist name E-Man the Rapper, because my real name's Emmanuel, but everyone would call me
I love how I didn't even know that too. Emmanuel, my dog.
Yo,
yeah,
everyone.
Your name was 2 a.m. and then your last name was in the morning.
So I used to go by E-Man the Rapper. I still have music under E-Man the Rapper if you want to find that.
I think it's a solid name, but go ahead.
Nah, but a lot of people would, you're trying to copy Chance the Rapper.
Oh, shit.
But the thing is, I had my name before Chance the Rapper was even a thing.
Also, you two are probably the only two rappers I've heard with
the rapper. Yeah. So you got a lot of Lil Waynes and Lil Pumps and Lil Nas X and Lil.
You see Donald Trump the other day shouted out Lil Pump. I was like, bro, you were like 4
Little
years
Pimp.
too late. Yeah.
Pimp.
No, dude, he did this like 2 days ago, not like eight months ago.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about when he was like, Lil Pimp is here.
Yeah.
Nobody did it like 2 days ago. He's like, Lil Pump is here. I was like, bro, it's not 2017.
It's funny. I have a couple mutual friends with Lil Pump, and his friends don't even like him like that. They're only around because of like his success.
He needs real friends, bro. We'd be boys with him. We'd be solid boys with him. But let's talk about 2 a.m. journey.
So, E-Man the Rapper was my old artist name, and I was just rapping. I was rapping. He's rap, snap, snap. I was a very lyrical rapper, whatever. But then 2016 happened, and this is the rise of Bryson Tiller, The Weeknd, Party Next Door, Tory Lanez, like that era of like R&B trap. And I'm like, cool. I want to try doing some of that. So I just started singing more and singing and singing. I'm like, yo, I have to lose the rapper name because I'm not rapping anymore. I'm singing now, and I was like, okay, so we have Party Next Door and we have The Weeknd. What time is it? And I'm like, 2 a.m. in the morning. So that's kind of how I got my name. There's a Party Next Door, it's The Weeknd, and it's 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, dope. So you all need to do a song together then.
Yeah, in the future, if you guys ever see this.
Definitely. What's your favorite song right now that you have? The Man?
The Man that I have out. Oh, man, my favorite. I try not to have a favorite song. I like all my songs equally.
Yeah, definitely. Or what's gotten a positive response from other people? Maybe that's a better question.
So the last song I put out called "The Finest Soul." So a background on this. So in August, my best friend had passed away, but he was also a rapper. So I found a couple of his vocals and verses, and I made a new song with that. And I released posthumously or whatever it's called. But after he passed, I put out a song with him and me.
What happened?
So, let's see. How he passed away, or
Yeah.
Okay, so I love him, but he was a very big man. He had a stroke.
And he's the same age.
Same age as 27. Yeah. This was 9 days after his 27th birthday, by the way. Yeah.
Did anyone see this coming or what?
Like I said, like he was a very big man. Like it was bound. I don't want to say it was going to happen, but like health is a very important thing. And like I said, he was very big. Like he didn't exercise. He didn't work out. Like it just happened like so randomly too. Like he still had time like to like work out and stuff like that. You normally like for a big person, your health starts to deteriorate in like your 40s if you're like very big and fat. But unfortunately, you know, like God called him home, and you know he's not here with us anymore.
Where were you at that time when you heard that?
Oh my God, man! I was in the studio when I got the news. Of course, I was in the studio. It's where I'm always at.
What does your daily schedule look like being in the studio?
So Tuesdays and Thursdays are when I'm at the park trying to shoot content, but then every other day I'm usually just at the studio or trying to, you know, sell computers. These computers have like Pro Tools in them, so if you guys want any of that, let me know. Funny enough, so basically the man was inspired by like the West Coast. Like I love California. Like I love California.
You want to move there?
I want to move to the Bay Area.
Not the city? Not Manhattan? Brooklyn?
Nah, it's I don't want to live in a closet for like $1,000. Like
more than a few $1,000s. Well, I guess if you're living in the closet, it's probably 1,000. Yeah.
So the reason why I want to move to Cali is because it's very like loving. Like you could walk into a random stranger's house and they'll just, hey man, we're having a barbecue in the back. You wanna? And that's what happened. Like we went to a random barbecue and they invited us in. Oh, y'all are from the East Coast? Come on, let's party. Like it's really cool, and you know the girls out there are pretty fine. You know, but but yeah, I'm like a Golden State Warriors fan. That's where they play. I'm Steph Curry's lost brother.
Oh, yeah, you do kind of look like Steph Curry. Yeah. Bro, you actually really do, dude. Pop up Steph Curry right here. And then Steph Curry, Seth Curry.
Curry.
And then what's your Curry name?
Meth Curry.
Meth.
They used to call me that in high school.
What are you most looking forward to in the future, 2 a.m.?
Oh, man.
The grind. I know you're in the studio a bunch, man. Collabing more. What's the next step for you?
I am looking forward to being, I guess, like, I look forward to working with more, like, household names. That's a big goal of mine for next year, to work with, like, more household names. K-pop is on the rise, so I kind of would like to work with, like, some K-pop bands and groups and stuff, so who knows?
Nice, man. 2 a.m. You're the freaking man, dude. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Before we get out of here, we're popping up your Instagram. Let us know where we can find you. And if anything else you want to plug, please feel free.
You can find me at 2 a.m. in the morning on Instagram or at TikTok. And I'm from New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey.
Shout out Jersey. By the way, dude, I was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Spent 6 weeks there, so I'm a Jersey boy myself.
Hell yeah.
All right, dude, it's freaking lit. Until the next time we see each other in Washington Square Park, 2 a.m. Thanks a lot. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.